بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. My dear students of 4th year English section, the subject of managerial accounting. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. احنا كنا في محاضرة فيس تو فيس يوم الاثنين اللي فات managerial course accounting. خلينا في المانجيريال بس. احنا اشتغلنا ساعة ونص وقلنا في ساعة ونص زوم. المفروض دي الزوم ليكتشر بكمل فيها، بفكرك بسرعة بس باللي احنا اديناه، وبعدين كان في اكزامبل كنا بدأناه ووريتك فيه الهاي لو. المفروض الليست سكوير ميثود ما شفناهاش، فانا اوريها لك النهارده كويس عشان المفروض المرة الجاية اخش في حاجة جديدة الا لو كان عندك شوية أسئلة. Last lecture we began in chapter 10 that's called determining how costs behave. We discussed the assumptions in cost behavior estimation. These assumptions were just two. Number one, changes in total cost can be explained by changes in the level of a single activity. Single activity may be producing one product. If increasing the level of production of this product, total cost will increase. If we decrease the level of production of this product, total cost will decrease. If we stopped producing this product, total cost will equal fixed cost. Do you know why? Because variable cost varies in total, fixed cost remains fixed in total, but in general, even if I stop the production, fixed cost should be paid, but variable cost will be stopped. Number two, cost behavior can adequately be approximated by a linear function of the activity level within the relevant range. Regarding relevant range, I'm saying to you that suppose that I have a capacity from 0 to 1,000 product, 1,000 unit of a product. So the relevant range is from 0 to 1,000. Suppose that I told you that fixed cost remains fixed from 100 units up till 900 units. So the relevant range is from 100 to 900. Before 100, I can't determine the fixed cost. After the 900, I can't determine, but within this range, fixed cost is so much between 100 unit and 900 unit. He told me what is meant by relevant range and both cost object and cost driver. I explained to you again now the relevant range. What about cost object and cost driver? Cost object is something I'm measuring cost for. For example, I'm producing bags. So the bag is the cost object for which I'm measuring the cost of this bag. Suppose that I'm producing chairs. So the chair is the cost object for which I'm calculating its cost. What about cost driver? The cost driver in Arabic is called محرك التكلفة. Suppose that I have variable cost, say for example raw material for the product. Each unit needs 100 pound raw material, 100 pound. So if I will produce 2 units as each unit needs 100, so 2 units needs 200, 10 units needs 200 pounds, 1,000 unit times 2 pound means 2,000 units. Suppose 100 pound times 1,000, 100,000 pound, and so on. So the units of production is the cost driver. If you remember the example of the taxes company, which we explained, we said that number of taxes is the cost driver for the license we were extracting. What about cost classifications? I said to you that we can classifying costs from different point of views. Regarding the functions in the factory, for example, in the company, there is manufacturing cost, there is marketing cost, there is administrative cost. Regarding the unit produced, I have direct cost and indirect cost. I remember when I raised the chair and I told you that you see this iron in this chair, this iron you can determine perfectly just when you look to the chair. So the cost of these legs are direct cost. But this chair we were producing in a factory with tables, kitchens, and salons. There is one supervisor in this section producing these products, and the rent of this section is £100. The supervisor wage is £200. 100 plus 200 means £300. We pay these £300 as fixed cost for the place and for the supervisor. Can you determine the share of the share in this cost? You can't, because it is indirect cost. So rent of the factory is indirect cost regarding the share we are producing. We have also controllable costs and non-controllable costs. The cost that you can control, you can increase or decrease, so is called controllable. But if there is a cost happens, either you want it to be existed or not, so it is uncontrollable. Then we have the main cost classification, that variable, fixed, and mixed cost. I told you that variable cost varies in total, but variable cost per unit is fixed. Fixed cost is fixed in total, but fixed cost per unit is variable. The example I explained to you when I said that the rent of this class is £300. If 300 students attended the lecture and this is the full capacity, £300 if divided by 300 students, so the share of each student is £1. Suppose that those who attended the lecture is 150 only. The rent 300 fixed, but if divided by 150 students, the share of each student is £2. Suppose that 50 students only attended the lecture. So the same 300, if divided by 50 students, each student share in rent equal £6. So £1, £2, £6, it is variable. So, as I told you, wait just one moment, please. We will, okay. As I told you that fixed cost is fixed in total, but variable per unit. Variable cost, I told you, each student will attend the class. I will give him a pencil, a notebook. Those pencil and notebook equal £10. So if one student attended, I will give him something equal £10. If 3 students, 3 times 10, 30. If 5 students, 50. But per student, it is 10. So variable cost varies in total, but it is fixed per unit. I have mixed cost. Mixed cost means each of the variable and the fixed together. I can't use the mixed cost in decision making. For example, that is a subject we will study together after 2 or 3 lectures. That's why I have to separate the mixed cost to its 2 main kinds, that is variable and fixed, and there are many methods as I will give you in the example. The cost function, I said that cost function is a mathematical expression, تعبير mathematically, describing how costs change with changes in the level of an activity. That's why I told you that the straight line equation, y equal a plus bx, y equal a plus bx. Y is the dependent variable, but x independent variable. Why x is independent? Because x affects y. If there is a positive relation, increasing x means increasing y. Decreasing x means decreasing y. If I have a negative relation, so decreasing x lets y to increase, increasing x lets y to decrease. So the one affecting is x, the one affected is the dependent variable, that's y. What about A and B? A is total fixed cost. B, variable cost per unit of measure or measuring unit. The measuring unit may be the student, the units of production, may be the maintenance hour, the operating hours, and so on. That is the cost driver. Okay? Now, what are the methods of mixed cost classification and estimation? Classification means I will classify the mixed cost to its two main parts. I mean variable and fixed. What about estimation? You will use historical data for some months, for example, or some years to expect the cost for next period. So the example I will give you now gives you data about month of January, February, March, April, May, and June, 6 months. The operating hours in each month I will give you in this example. And the maintenance cost for each month is given also in this example, from January to June. Suppose that I will estimate or forecast the maintenance cost of July. This is a coming month. How to expect this cost? How to estimate this cost? I have to get the fixed cost in total, that is A, variable cost per hour, that is B, and I have to know the number of operating hours regarding this month for which you want me to calculate or estimate cost for it. For example, now I have, wait a moment, please. I'm sorry, I came again. Example for separating fixed and variable cost in mixed cost. So if I have mixed cost, I have to separate fixed and variable. Why I separate? Because fixed cost has a certain behavior and variable cost has another behavior. The variable cost varies in total, but fixed per unit. It is the opposite regarding fixed cost. It is fixed in total, but variable per unit. That's why as the behavior of each kind of cost is different than the other, I have to separate it from the mixed cost. Then after separation, I want to forecast the cost for next period. The example, the following data are available about the operating hours in 1,000. Why in 1,000? I will tell you. And maintenance costs in £1,000. Why in 1,000? I will tell you. And you are required to determine the costs behavior. يبقى أنا عايز حضرتك تقول لي الكوست behavior اللي هنا عبارة عن إيه؟ And to estimate the maintenance cost for July. July, the table I have from January to June. So July is the next month after June. So he wants me to estimate the maintenance cost for July, where operating hours are expected to be 66.5 hours, using both of the high-low and the least square methods. In the face-to-face lecture in the previous Monday, I told you there are 3 main methods for separation. The first one is the graphical solution. I explained to you how to calculate it, but I can't ask you in the exam about the graphical solution. I have the high-low method and the least square method. I explained the high-low method in example like this, but I didn't explain the least square method. I will repeat again the explanation of the high-low method. Then I will explain to you slowly the least square method, because I will not explain it again unless you asked me in the face-to-face lecture. He told me during January, the operating hours 30, the maintenance cost 700. February 70, 1,200. March operating hours 130, but cost 1,800. April 32, 640. May 126, the cost 1950. June 98 hours, and the maintenance cost is 1150. These hours, is it logic that in a factory during 1 month operating hours will be 30? It is not logic. This is a factory, and a big factory. I think it may be 30,000, 70,000, 130,000. That's why I told you that operating hours in 1,000 for the logic of the case. For the logic of the case. And it is not logic that maintenance cost during January 700. It may be 700,000. That's why I said that maintenance cost in £1,000. For the logic of the case, I said that this is in 1,000 and this is in 1,000. But for you as a student, in your exam, in your quiz, in whatever, take these figures as it is and solve your case. I can tell you that 30,000, nothing, 700,000. But it will be so difficult in calculation. That's why I told you that values are in 1,000, and I give you very, very simple figures to calculate. So now I will forget in 1,000 here and in 1,000 there, and I will solve the problem as it is. Now, shall I begin choosing the high and low? I want to solve it now by the high-low method, then the least square. The high and low number of hours or the high and low maintenance cost. If you will begin by maintenance cost, you are mistaken, because costs means money, and money is subject to rising and going down for inflation and depletion. So I can't depend mainly on values or on the costs because they are misleading. But when I'm saying that I operated for 30 hours, hours is not lying. الكميات ما بتكذبش. But values may be liars because there is change in prices. That's why أنا قلت لك حتى في المحاضرة فيس تو فيس أخش من الباب ولا الشباك. أخش من الباب يعني إيه؟ يعني أخش من الكوانتيتي، لأن الكوانتيتي is not lying. But the values may be changed for rising or decreasing in price. So if you will choose according to the maintenance cost, you will consider 640. This is the lowest cost, but it is not the lowest number of hours. The lowest number of hours is 30. The highest cost is 1,950, but it is not the highest number of hours. There is 130. That's why, please, when solving such a case, begin by the quantities. وقلتها لك كده بيت شعر أنا كنت عامله قياسا على بيت تاني، قلت لك الكميات أصدق أنباء من القيم في استخدامها ضرء لمعظم الشبه. يعني إيه؟ يعني دايما ابدأ بالكوانتيتيز وعليها ابدأ اختار الفاليوز. فأنا لما بقول the lower number of hours here is 30 and the upper number is 130. So 130 is the highest number of hours. 30 is the lowest number of hours. What is the cost at the lowest? 700. What is the cost at the highest number of hours? 1,800. So I have to use the 130 and the 30 hours, and the cost in front of each, the 700 and the 1,800. So now 1,800 like this, and the 700, the two costs that I will use. Why you use these two figures? Because the 700 represents the 30 hours as the lowest number of hours. And the 130 is the highest number of hours where the cost is 1,800. Now, how to separate fixed cost and variable cost. Before separating, there is a question we forgot. He told me you are required to determine the cost behavior. Determine the cost behavior. These costs are fixed or variable or mixed. As I told you in the face-to-face lecture also, the live one, I told you if these costs are fixed, the cost at the 30 hours must be the same as 70 hours, 130 hours, 32, 100, on the relevant range from 30 to 130. This is the range. So these costs are not fixed. If they are fixed, the same figure will be in each month. So they are not fixed. Okay. Are they variable? Maybe. Because it is varied. But the variable cost has a feature. في خاصية ليها. It varies in total, but fixed per unit. So this cost seems to be variable. But if I will divide each cost by its level and gives me the same per unit, it is variable. But if you will make an experiment, 700 divide 30, 200 divide 70, 800 divide 130, it will not give the same rate per hour. That's why it is not fixed and it is not variable. So it is mixed cost. So determining the cost behavior, these are mixed cost. Why? Because if they are fixed, they must be the same at each level, and they are not the same. If they are variable, dividing the cost of each month on its hours must give the same rate per hour, and it is not so. So they are mixed cost. This is the answer. Now, so the answer, at the first beginning, these costs are not fixed or variable, but mixed. Can you determine how to get that? Yes. How? Because if they are fixed, they should be the same at all level. If they are variable, if dividing any cost by its hours, it gives the same rate. It is not so or so, so they are mixed cost. Now, using the high-low method, I have to get B and A because the straight line equation says Y equal A plus BX. Y is the total cost. X is the number of hours. Y is the dependent variable. X is the independent variable. What about A and B? A total cost. B variable cost per hour. So I have to determine A and B. Using the high-low method, we have to begin by determining B, that is variable cost per hour. How to determine B? The difference in cost divided the difference in hours. The cost 1,800 minus 700 gives 1,100, will be in the numerator. To be divided by 130 hours minus 30 hours, this means 100 hours. So 1,800 minus 700 divided 130 minus 30, like this. I said that straight line equation Y equal A plus BX. For getting the variable cost per hour B, B equal the difference in cost at the high and low levels divided the difference in hours at the same two levels. The two levels I have is 30 and 130. The cost in front of 130, 1,800. The cost in front of 30 is 700. So the difference in these two costs divided the difference in these two levels of hours, like this. So 1,800 pounds minus 700 pounds divided 130 hours minus 30 hours. It gives 1,100 divided 100, 1,100 pounds divided 100 hour. It means 100 pounds per hour because 1,100 pounds divided 100 hours. So 11 pounds per hour. After I got the value of B, this is B. I want to get A, the total fixed cost. As variable cost per hour equal 11, come back again to the example. Each hour of the 30 needs 11 pounds. So 11 times 30 gives 330. 330 variable cost. if deducted from the total cost of maintenance 700, it gives 370. Remember again, gives the 370. Shall I repeat using the higher level? Yes. 130 times 11 gives 1,430. If deducted from 1,800, gives 370. So fixed cost in the two cases, 370. How to get it again? Like this. For getting total fixed cost, that is A, maintenance cost at any of the two levels, 1,800 or 700, minus B multiplied by the same level's number of hours. So 1,800 minus 11 times 1,300 hours gives 370. Again, can I determine fixed cost at the lower level? Yes, where its cost was 700 and the number of hours 300. Sorry. Again, 130, I multiplied it wrongly. Alhamdulillah, I got it. Again, 1,800 pounds, 130 hours. So 1,800 minus 11 times 130 gives 1,800 minus 1,430 gives 370. At the lower level, 700 pounds minus 11, that is B, variable cost per hour, times 30 hours gives 700 minus 330 gives 370. So total fixed cost equal 370. And variable cost per hour equal 11. Now we separated fixed cost and variable cost. Can you estimate, forecast the cost at any level? Yes. Okay. If I asked you to determine the cost at 20 hours, can you? No. Why no? Y equal A plus BX. A 370 plus B 11 times 20. 20, is it within the relevant range? No. The relevant range is between 30 and 130. Before 30, I can't. After 130, I can't. But between the two figures, I can. He told me you are asked to forecast the cost at 66.5 hours. 66.5. Is it inside or within the relevant range? Yes, because the lower limit 30, the higher limit 130. So if you want me to calculate or forecast for 30, 40, 50, up till 130, I can. So for 66.5, I will multiply it by 11 and add 370, like this. Y equal A plus BX. A is 370 plus 11 times any number of hours between 30 and 130. So if multiplying by 30, 40, 50, 66.5 times 11 gives 731.5 plus 370 fixed cost gives 1,101.5 pounds. So using the high-low method, we got B by deducting total cost at the higher level minus total cost at the lower level divided number of hours at the higher minus number of hours at the lower, it gives me 11 per hour. So the difference in cost divided difference in number of hours give me 11 pounds per hour, right? Then how to get fixed cost? As each hour needs 11 pounds variable cost, so the 30 hours times 11, we will deduct from 700. The 130 times 11 will be deducted from the 1,800. In the two cases, I will get 370, 370. So 370 is a fixed cost. Estimating the cost for any other period within the range from 30 to 130 will give me 370 fixed cost plus 11 times the level needed. It gives me 1,101.5. Okay? What's your opinion in this method? Is it a good method? Yes, it is very good method and very easy method. And we hope that Adil Taha will ask us such a question in the exam and we will solve it in a minute. It is not a good method. It is an approximated method And there is a better one. Why? Come again. When we multiply 30 by 11 and deduct it from 700, it gave me 370, right? When multiplied 130 by 11 and we deducted the result from 1,800, it gives me 370, right? Please, can you try multiplying the 70 by 11 and deducting the result from 1,800, 200? Can you multiply 32 by 11 and deduct from 640? Can you multiply it by 98 and deduct from 1,150? Or multiply 11 by 126 and deduct from 1,950? If it gives you each time 370 fixed cost, so this method is okay, but it will not give you 370. So this method cannot be used, or approximated method. I want a method more accurate than this method. That's why he told me solve once by high-low and another one by least square method. How to use the least square method? Least square method is one method related to a technique called simple regression analysis technique. Simple regression analysis technique اللي هو بنسميه أسلوب الانحدار الخطي البسيط. Through which we use this method, that is least squares method, اللي هي طريقة المربعات الصغرى. To get the results, it will not the same result. Variable cost will not be 11, something else. Fixed cost will not 370 like this. It will be something else. But to arrive to these results, I need to prepare this table. Oppa. Very big table. Why we are preparing it? Just to get this figure and that one. All we will get out of this very big table is these two figures. Call them, please. This is called XY summation, or summation of XY, and the other one summation of X squared. So preparing all this table to get summation of this column XY and summation of this column X squared, yes. Why? Because dividing summation XY by summation X squared will give me B. B equals summation XY divided summation X squared. In the previous one, we deducted the highest cost minus the lowest cost, divided the highest number of hours minus the lowest number of hours, and finished. But here we have to prepare this table. How to prepare it? It's very important to concentrate with me. Please concentrate well with me to understand it. It's very easy, but it needs many steps to fulfill. These are the number of hours and these are the maintenance costs that I have in the example. These two columns that I put here, 30, 70, 130, 32, 126, 98. 700 pound, 1,200 pound, 1,800, 640, 1,950, and 1,150. What I have to do? These are the hours and these are the costs. If I want to get what is called X, shall I get X from hours or from cost? Remember again, the straight line equation say that Y equal A plus BX, which affect whom? Or which affects which? X affects Y. That's why X is the independent. The independent here is the number of hours, and the dependent or the Y is the maintenance cost. So through hours, I will get this column of X. Through costs, I will get this column of Y, because the cost is the Y as dependent, and the hours is the independent or the affecting. That's why we get X out of it. How to get? How month I have? January, February, March, April, May, June, 6 months. So if I will add these hours, I will get 486. 486 hours. This is the total number of hours for January, February, March, April, May, and June for 6 months. If divided 6, it gives me average number of hours per month. Average number of hours per month. Okay? Again, 30 plus 70, 100 plus 130, 230 plus 32, 262 plus 126 plus 98 gives 486. 486 is the total number of hours for the 6 months. If divided by 6, it gives 81. Why I divided by 6? Because I need the average of 6 months. Suppose in the exam, I gave you 4 months only. Shall you divide by 6 because Adil Taha explained in the lecture dividing by 6? أنت بتهرج يا دكتور عادل. No, I have to divide by 4. So dividing by 6 here because I have 6 months. The result is 81. Now, the 81 hour is the average of these hours. Please, can you deduct the 81 from each month? I mean, 30 minus 81. It gives minus 55. 70 minus 81, it gives minus 11. 130 minus 81, it gives 49 positive. 32 minus 81, it gives negative 49. 126 minus 81, it gives 45. 98 minus 81, it gives 17. Now, how I got X? I deducted the average of the operating hours from each month. So the 30, 70, 130, 32, 126, 98, each one I said minus like this, minus 81. It gives the result. Minus 81. It gives the result, and so on. So the column of the operating hours, I will deduct 81 out of each number of hours for each month to get these figures of X. Please, before fulfilling anything else, try to add the X column and to be sure that the total is 0. How the total will be 0? I have some figures with negative sign, and I have other figures with positive sign. I'm speaking about X. Okay, negative 51 plus negative 11 gives negative 62, plus negative 49 gives negative 111. Now, 17 plus 45 positive gives 62. 62 plus 49 gives 111. So 111 positive, 111 negative gives total algebraic or mathematical algebraic total gives 0. If it is 0, you are okay. The same will be fulfilled regarding the cost. Maintenance cost for January, February, March, April, May, June. Their total equal 7,440. This is the summation of the cost regarding the 6 months. I wanted the average per month, so I will divide by 6 to have 1,240. The 1,240 is the average maintenance cost per month, even though during January I have 700 only. During March I have 1,800. During May I have 1,950, but the average is 1,240. Please, the 1,240 should be deducted from each cost for each month. 700 minus 1,240 gives a negative 540. The 1,200 minus 1,240 gives a negative 40. The 1,800 minus 1,240 gives positive 560, and so on. try to add the column of y and to be sure that the summation equals 0. How to get 0? Because I have some figures with negative sign and have other two figures with positive sign. If you will add the positive sign and the negative sign, they are equal. So negative and positive with the same figure, it gives total mathematical or algebraic total of 0. Now everything will be okay. How you got x? I take the operating hours summation divided by their number, 6, give me 81. I deducted 81 from each number of hours for each month, I get x. So the hours give you x. Then the cost, I added the cost of the 6 months. I got 7,440 divided 6 because they are 6 months. Gave me average cost of 1,240. I deducted this average from each cost of each month to get y. Then I assured that the summation of x is 0 and the summation of y is 0. If they are not 0, repeat the operations again. Repeat the calculations again before getting the last two columns. Now I want to get xy. I have x and I have y. So multiplying x by y gives xy. X in February times y in February gets xy. The same for March, the same for... So I have xy. Please give me the total summation of xy. Now I need a column for x squared. This is x. Negative 51 times itself, it gives 2601. Negative 11 times itself gives 121, and so on. Then give me the summation of x squared. Again, how to prepare this table? I have the hours, summation of hours, divided their number, that is 6 months, gives the average, 81. If deducted from each number of hours for each month, it gives me x. Why hours gives the x? Because hours is the independent variable. X is the independent in the equation. Then the maintenance cost. This is dependent because it depends on the number of hours. Total divided by number of months gives me 1,240 as average. Deducted from each one of these costs gives me y. Assuring that summation of x is 0 and y is 0 is a must. Then multiply each x by each y and get the xy for each month. Multiply x by itself for each month to get x squared. Summation xy and summation x squared is ready now to get b. How to get variable cost per hour? You have to divide summation xy by summation x squared, like this. For getting variable cost per hour, B equals summation xy divided summation x squared. So summation xy, that is 115,240, 115,240 divided 9838, that's x squared. We got 11.714 pounds per hour approximately. Why approximately? Because the result will be 11.71394. I approximated to 3 decimals. In the exam, approximate to 3 decimals. Please, in the exam, if in multiple questions, I told you B equal 11.714, then 11.714 pounds. And the third answer, 11.714 pounds per hour approximately. The last one is the correct one. Even all of them are 11.714. But one of them without bounds, one of them without approximately. The result is 11.714 pounds per hour approximately. Right? So if the result is like this, only 11.714, it is not correct. 11.174 pounds only, it is not correct. Per hour only is not correct. The correct is 11.714 pounds per hour approximately, because it is approximated. In the high-low method, it was 11 pounds only. Do you see? 11 pounds. So if you want to get it approximated, yes, but very accurate or very near to the right answer, so use the least square method. It is 11.714 pounds. Now, this is B. How to get A? Remember again, in the high-low method, after getting the 11, I multiplied 11 by 130 and I deducted from 1,800. Or I multiplied 11 by 30 and deducted from 700. Why? Because I have the low level and the high level. I multiplied this by 11, deducted here. I multiplied this by 11, deducted from 1,800. But now, shall I multiply the result, I mean the 11.714, by 30 and deduct from 700? No. From 130 and deduct from 1,800? No. I have the average of the hours and the average of the cost. So multiply the 11.714 by 81 and they deducted the result from 1 to 40 to get the fixed cost. That's why here A equal average maintenance cost minus B multiplied by average operating hours. The average cost I have 1 to 40. Average maintenance cost. Average number of hours. So the average cost 1 to 40 minus average hours 81 times B that I got just right now 11.714. It gives the result 291.166 pounds. It was 370 in the high-low method. So it is more accurate. As you have the fixed cost as a lump sum and the variable cost per hour. Now, can you estimate the total maintenance cost for 66.5 operating hours? Yes, I can. And I can calculate for any other level, but in the relevant range. I mean, between 30 and 130. 66 and 5, 66.5 multiplied by B, then adding the fixed cost gives 1070.147 pounds. So the problem or the difficulty of the least squares method is how to prepare this table. Then dividing total xy, summation xy by summation x square gives you B, as you see. Then B, if multiplied by average number of hours and deducted from 1 to 40, it gives you A. Then A plus B multiplied by any number of hours in the relevant range gives you the cost. Once again, to get X, total number of hours divided by number of months gives you the average. Deducting the average from each month hours gives you X. Assure that their total is 0. How to get Y? The total maintenance cost divided by the number of months, number of years, whatever the case, gives you the average. The average deducted from the cost of each month gives you Y. Be sure that the summation is 0. Then multiply for each month X by Y gives you XY. Then add all the XY together to get the summation. Pay attention that there is 1 of June, it is negative. So you will add this all algebraic. Algebraic means you will add this total till May, then deduct 1530. If it is positive, you will add all of them. But if this one, as you see, negative, so you will add all algebraic. So this will be positive and this one negative. The result will be 115, 240. Then multiply X by itself for each month, negative 51 times itself, negative 11 times itself, then summation X square, XY summation, the divided X square summation, summation XY divided summation X square gives you B, then B multiplied by average number of hours and deducted from the total or the average cost of the 6 months gives you A plus 11.714, that is B, multiplied by any number of hours, operating hours from 30 to 130, gives you the expected cost for July. I hope you good luck. Study this well. It will be on my site and on the faculty or university side. So from now, it will be on my site. You can study it till I will give it to the college tomorrow, Saturday, to upload it on the universities or the college side. Till I see you on Monday morning. Thank you very much and good luck.